James Hunt and Niki Lauda, two extremely skilled Formula One racers, have an intense rivalry with each other. However, it is their enmity that pushes them to their limits. Hello everyone, welcome to another movie review, and this time it's on the movie Rush. This movie came out back in 2013. I saw this on Amazon Prime. That's where you can go and watch it, everyone. It's rated as one of the best movies of all time at the top 235th spot. Really? Won one BAFTA award, another 6 wins, and another 66 nominations. And the main cast in this is Daniel Brühl, Chris Hemsworth, Olivia Wilde, Alexandra Maria Lara, Pierfrancesco Favino, David Calder, Natalie Dormer, Stephen Mangan, Christian McKay, Alastair Petrie, Julian Wintut, Colin Stinton, Jimmy DeCourcy, Augusto Dellera, Ilario Calvo, Patrick Baladi, Vincent Riota, and Martin Savage. Oh, wait. So, before I get to my thoughts on this, I did look things up because they say this is based on a true story. But how true is this, really? How true is this? So, like I said, based on a true story, which is actually really based on the rivalry between Hunt and Lauda, pretty much, yeah. That's all that it was based off of. Based on the true story of the rivalry between the two. But that being said, that part was also dramatized for the movie. And I repeat, dramatized. So the rivalry wasn't as bad in real life as it was in this movie. But that being said, they also added other themes to this movie, which I will not mention, that was added to the movie for the movie. Yeah. So at that point, is it really based on a true story? You be the judge of that. Anyhow, that being said, my thoughts on this movie, is it great? Is it good? Is it bad? Tell you the truth, let's go over everything and then I'll share my opinion. Alright, so I do think the worst part of the movie, which would be the graphics, really. Thinking about it, yeah. But that being said, the graphics for 2013 was actually not that bad. It's a docudrama. It's a docudrama, motorsport, period drama, biography drama, and a sport movie. So, considering its time and type, I'd say the graphics were actually maybe not the best, but it was still very good. Very good. Oh yes. And to me personally, that's the worst thing about this movie. The worst thing. Let's go over everything else. I think the storyline, actually no, that wouldn't be the worst thing about the movie. I'm thinking about something else now. Alright, so before I do get to that, the storyline, what do I think of the story? It's based on not only one, but two people. And if it's based on people who actually exist, like I've said before, it can be a good plot. A good plot, if done right. And it was done right, but at the same time it wasn't done right. I would have to say it was actually, I couldn't say extremely well because that falls under that. I would have to say it was very well written, very well written. But that being said, it could have been somewhat better though. It could have been a bit better though if they did not screw up the pacing of the movie. And to me personally, I think the pacing is probably the worst thing about the movie because they didn't know how to pace it right, if you will. Not to say that the scenes were the scenes bad because of it? No. I think they were great. The racing part of the movie I think was awesome. It was some of the other things, well, it felt like it was a bit slow to me. It could have been somewhat faster, if you will. I do find that part. That's what I'm talking about, everyone. Certain scenes, it could have been faster, if you will. Yeah. But that being said, to me personally, the storyline was still very, very good. The next best thing, which is probably the best thing about the movie. The cast. Awesome cast. Awesome cast. Chris Hemsworth, Olivia Wilde. I did not really know Daniel Bull. I would have to say this is probably the only movie I've seen from him. The only movie. And based on his performance in this movie, I would have to say he's actually an amazing actor. An amazing actor. But that being said, for me to say amazing in general, I would have to see more from him. And like I said, this is the only one that I've seen from him. Yeah. That being said, IMDb with all the users combined gives this movie an 8.1 out of 10. What do I think? Well, my thoughts? I actually very much enjoyed this movie. I thought it could have been better. Like I said, the pacing though. But yeah, it's a very good movie. A very good movie. Could have been amazing, but wasn't. And you know my rating for very good. Yeah, 7. 7 out of 10. That's my rating. A 7 out of 10. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And if you love this movie or did not love this movie, you can let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, what your thoughts are. I always love your comments. Whether you love the movie or hate it. You can like this video or like this review. And you can subscribe to my channel if you love my content. So thank you all for taking time to watch. Join me next time for another movie review I intend to do soon. I am out.